Hey everybody, welcome back to Hollow Knight and Plot. What that?
Was that the sound of plot? Oh.
Yeah, that was the sound of bottle plot. I'm gonna go close a window, but for right now, we're trying to get to this place. Enjoy, Travis.
Well, since he's gone, I'll take over. We're currently at the Ball of Yarn escapade. Leads to the tournament arc. Oh. Or I guess the church arc. Hello. The non-dreaming church arc. All right. Hey there, man. Take a break. We ain't thinking, man.
Just chill here, bro. I like this part a lot because this is the funniest thing to me on the planet.
This isn't a trap.
It really isn't, but this just screams to me that DM situation of the DM forcing you into a trap.
Come on, man. Why gotta be like that?
Oh no, I have fallen victim to this cunning trap. Help. By the way, you can control struggling in the bench.
Delicious. Sound like you beat up people and slurp them up, unless they did that to you. Oh, woof.
Yeah, it's a really weird thing. They didn't kill me. They just kind of tied me up.
They didn't even take your weapon. What morons?
Yeah, it's really weird. But the Beast Den, it's not really interesting. It's just more of Deepnest.
I thought this was gonna be like a naked ride-in mission.
You know, that would be cool if you had to, like, find deposits of soul energy just to, you know, damage enemies. I think that'd be rad.
A hollow cartwheel.
I think the big issue is that this game did have a low budget due to being kickstarted, and people mentioned before, but yeah, Deepnest really does feel like it was hit with the budget knife.
I mean, I never get offended by people with budgeting issues. I actually appreciate when people can actually find ways to hide their lack of budget.
Yeah.
And for the most part, they use the darkness and the small corridors to hide some of the shortcomings of this part, which is perfectly fine to me.
Yeah, if there's one thing the devs of this game are good at, is art design. Because, man, like, I mentioned that this place is kind of but it still looks really cool.
Also, I like the effect of the spiders walking in the foreground, because usually I'm not a big fan of foreground effects, but it's not overly distracting. It's just enough to make you flinch.
You know, I never really thought of that.
It's enough to see that shadow and go, "Ooh," and that's about it. But it's not like a big leaf or anything like that you sometimes get in levels where you're like, oh, come on, I can't see half the game.
I'm pretty sure we discussed this before, but I gotta bring it up again. Double Dragon Neon, while I love that game, oh man, the foreground effects on the shadow levels really suck.
The only other thing I don't like about Double Dragon Neon is that your character feels slow.
Yeah.
There's too much weight to his run startup and things like that. I'm like, I want a little more quickness nowadays. But otherwise, I love that game. Or Skullmageddon.
Yeah, Skullmageddon's great. Now, the big thing it seems like I'm kind of, you know, putzing around here blindly, is that with the Grim Troop DLC that was added, there was 4 new badges added, and one of them is specifically located in Deepnest. And I don't know where.
Huh.
Yeah, a lot of Deepnest's data is, or not Deepnest, Grim Troop's data is still being deciphered, so I still gotta figure that stuff out.
I feel like by this point they would have had it, because, I mean, it didn't come out like at least over a month ago.
Yeah, it might be out there, I just haven't checked lately. Damn it. That would've been cool. I could have cheated.
They've obviously prepared for this.
Those guys are really annoying because if they hit you with their scythe, it's 2 damage.
I like the sounds they make.
Yeah.
Wake up, sleepyhead. Wake, not the Watcher.
That's 5. So the Watchers are a relatively interesting thing in that you would think these big 3 guardians of the ultimate evil would fight back? No.
I like if the first thing she says, what?
But yeah, I forget where it was mentioned, because it was definitely mentioned in all the plot I ignored, but the Watchers are actively on your side, so they're willing to surrender. And this part's a little confusing, but you have to focus to absorb their soul.
Oh. Guess no longer empty.
Nah, we just took care of Mother Brai-wait's statue. That's all.
I sense a final boss behind there.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Now here's why I did this LP as such. Back when I started the game, Hornet never appeared here. And people figured out that before certain updates, you had to do the entire game... You had to do the entire end game segment before doing the Watchers in order for Hornet to appear here and give you this this contextual information. I think they made it a lot easier because I'm pretty sure I didn't do all of the end game. And she still appeared here. I think they made it easier for her to appear. Which is nice, honestly. I feel like you shouldn't lock away, you know, storyline between esoteric logic.
Are they also insinuating that that Watcher is Hornet's mom?
Stepmom, yes.
Oh, so orphan raised by god insects. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry if I maybe missed this point of the lore, but have they really explained what the Watchers are?
It's something we glazed over because you know me, but the Watchers are 3 of... They're not warriors committed to the White King, but they are like his most loyal advisors. And during the Great Plague, the White King said, "We need to contain this now. The Hollow Knight has done his duty, and we need to seal him away forever." In order to do that, these 3 advisors conducted a ritual that will put them in an eternal slumber, but also create a lock so powerful that nothing could get by, not even microbial data. Well, microbial contaminants.
Unless, of course, you kill their sleeping body.
Well, the seal was already broken, as seen by the crossroads getting infected. The White King's plan failed, and this is probably why the Watchers are okay with giving up now, because the sacrifice they made is basically null and void now.
Was maybe the seal cracked because the Hollow Knight, the quote-unquote Hollow Knight that sealed away that power was not perfect and maybe broke the seal a little bit?
I can't say for sure, but I know one of the reasons why it was speculated that it broke was because, if you remember, Little Mining Girl, she got infected and became part of, like, the hive mind. She was mining directly above the Black Egg, which is the final area where Hollow Knight was sealed.
So that cute girl has resulted in the death of thousands.
Yep. Also, I have to apologize for everyone. When I was collecting all the grub flies, I actually did this room ahead of time in order to get 1 grub fly. I will explain what you're supposed to do in a little bit, because I think I kind of take a lap through it. But basically in this area, you gotta go down that path in order to open up a switch that opens up a door, that opens up another switch that gets you there. It's not really anything interesting to see.
now that I think about it, the only thing I don't necessarily believe about that mining girl being involved is that she wasn't infected first. She was infected later, because you started the game with things that are already infected. She didn't get infected until at least the second half of the game.
Yeah, that's true. I'm struggling to figure out what would cause the first leak. I think maybe the seal was just not as perfect as White King intended.
I mean, the way that the moth insinuated it was that the radiance spread like an infection as long as it appeared in the minds and the hearts of the people.
Yep. Now I'm going down this path to show you where I got the grub fly. You go over to this area, you fight a big battle arena, kill 2 big guys, and then you save a little bug.
So just imagine. I'm just waiting for the point where the guy just goes, "Thank you for grabbing all the grub worms," as he takes it to the top of the King's Keep and just dumps him through the sawmill.
So, on boss fights, I personally think this is the worst boss fight in the game. If you've heard my gripes before, one of the things I hate most about Dark Souls 2 is that a lot of the boss fights in that game are multiple enemies with asynchronous patterns. And initially, Hollow Knight was good about that. There was a lot of multiple boss fights that had patterns. This one doesn't. And also, by doing this secret, you kill 2 of the 10 bosses here.
Oh, they're in that cloud, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. And you only get that candelabra, you don't get the other one. I will also say this boss fight is way easier than I remember, probably because I came at it with max sword and the damage trinket. Yeah, the Watcher Knights are relatively simple. They're not complicated bosses, but the complexity comes from the fact that after you kill the first one, there will always be 2 on the field until they all die.
This is the Undead Legion. That's a Dark Souls.
Yeah. I was personally thinking Ruin Sentinels, but yeah. I don't like this boss fight at all.
But it's like, it's dead knights that have the infection move each one to revive them, so.
Yep. Which one was Undead Legion? I'm struggling to remember that.
In Dark Souls 3, there were those Farron knights that you had to fight that were like killing each other, and then they fought you in pairs, then another one fought them. It's one of the earlier big bosses.
Oh yeah, that one! I thought that one was really cool.
Oh yeah, I liked that one.
That one was really good among all the other slogs. Oh wow, that was actually quicker than I remember recording.
I don't know, guy seems like a punk to me.
I want to say they nerfed it in between the first time I played this and now, but I can't, I don't have any evidence for that. Also, I failed to mention this for the entire LP, but we've been saying it entirely wrong, Travis. The 3 people that we're dealing with right now, they're not the Watchers, they're the Dreamers. The guy we're fighting, the guy we're going to right now, he is the Watcher.
Fear, not the Dreamers.
It really doesn't work, that's why I didn't bother clarifying.
La 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 sleep. Master, too tired.
Yeah,
That means they're dead?
yeah, they died from exhaustion because they didn't want to sleep and get infected by radiance.
If the radiance infects by just thinking about it, what's the point of having it being like spread and bacterial? Ooh.
Because it's cool.
Yeah, I guess it is.
He's called the Watcher. He's also a painter.
And a sleeper.
Well, yeah, he's a dreamer.
And a lover. And a
Damn it, I knew you were going to go there. God damn it.
Go away, Alfred.
Bye.
Bye, Alfred. So if you go to sleep and it makes you see the radiance, then it probably wasn't a good idea to put these guys in eternal slumbers, because that looks like the radiance right there.
It's a weird thing. It's a specific ritual where by the power of like by being put into eternal sleep, they seal away the radiance and are not affected by it.
It'd be funny. The only thing he says is "I see you."
I'm the Watcher after all. I see all.
Oh no! Goodbye, one-eyed jellyfish. You were super fast.
What?
I'm making song references over here. Leave me alone.
Okay. That one's lost on me.
Didn't even know Seal was a band. Well, if you wanted to find a leak, it doesn't seem like it was sealed that well.
Yeah, here's the interesting thing. You know how we got the infected crossroads infected because we killed the lost kin? Apparently the way the developers intended you to do this is to kill one Watcher before finding the lost kin. So that's why the lost kin is a trigger.
I see.
The original point was once you break one of the seals, the Forgotten Crossroads becomes the infected crossroads, and you realize, oh man, this kind of sucks. Now for this segment, we could have done this anytime in between getting the acid immunity to getting Shadow Dash. But the way the developers want you to do it is when you get acid badge.
It's been a while since we've been back here.
Yeah, because I made the allegory before, but this is basically this game's Meridia. You get a taste early on, but you don't actually do it until like the end.
Nice.
Yep. Best LP of this game, by none.
Said the reviewers. None of them.
Look at that speedrun strat. Now we're gonna learn an interesting thing about the jellyfish here. We've seen it before where if we slash them, their little Metroid brain within the jellyfish goes kamikaze and blows up on you. There's actually a way to partially avoid that. I don't know when in the video tag we see this, but I'll point it out when it happens.
Be sure to make a slow-mo of it too.
Yes.
And a zoom in.
And then put in like air horns and say it's 6/420 no scope.
Wang, you disgust me.
Right there. If you shadow dash the jellyfish, it just kills them. It doesn't pop the membrane until they fall on the floor, then they become kamikaze.
Not through that one, though. Because you had to find out.
Yeah, these hazards only appear in the fog canyon, but man, they hurt.
That screams a moment where... This is something I heard an El Pierre say recently that cracks me up, where he's like, I'm feeling confident, and as soon as he says that, he dies.
Yeah, but by going here, we get our last charm notch of the main game. There is still one more. But I also think that's the only optional part of Fog Canyon. This place is actually really small.
I think jellyfish are such an odd choice for this game. They're cool, don't get me wrong, and it's obviously a reference to Metroid. But, like, they're not bugs.
You're not wrong. And in fact, I think that's the only reason why they put jellyfish here. Hey, we're in Metroidvania, look at these Metroids! Actually, these would be the, Oh, what the hell did they call the fake ones in Super Metroid?
Oh.
Like, I forget what level it's in. It's just before Dragon, but there are fake Metroids that can't even drain your energy.
God, it's been so long since I played Super Metroid.
I know!
What did they call the goo monsters in Fusion? I forget what they call those two.
The, X-Parasite?
Was it the X-Parasite?
It was something to that effect. And I believe this is our last map. Ah, look at this. It's beautiful.
Ah, so this is what my small intestine looked like. At this point, I wish that you could hear him, and you see a mushroom grow from his head, and you slowly see him get infected. And his job is done.
It's funny you say his job is done because that is actually the last map. So Quirrel has effectively mapped out all of Hollownest. So what's gonna happen to him?
Is he gonna ask you to pull a samurai thing like that last guy, and you're like, what an idiot?
Nah. I can't imagine trying to kill my good buddy Cornifer with a pen. I mean, I can, but it'd be really brutal.
You know what I think he's gonna do? I think he's gonna finally go back and work at his shop with his wife, like he should have.
That'd be a quaint ending, wouldn't it? Just like,
I mean,
hey,
his wife is just like, he's been gone forever. Get back, you.
trying really hard here to do this. There we go.
Monomon.
That is actually the name of the third dreamer. I was gonna say Watcher. Really, Watcher sounds better.
Fighting dreamer. It sounds more foreboding. Dreamer sounds kinder than Watcher.
Yeah. Ugh. Look who's here.
Ow, my dream ass.
Why did you psychic knife my butt?
Ah, you left a crack in there.
Oh, that was already there, sorry. You're talking really strange there, Quirrel, good buddy. No, I think for like the next minute or two, I'm gonna try to figure out where a grubworm is, and I feel kind of dumb in retrospect.
Ah, the Archives.
Now I know why my friends hate me so much whenever I purposefully mispronounce something. I was like, Archives? What? Ah!
The library. This looks like some mad scientist shit over here.
It really does, doesn't it?
Maybe this is what the other dreamer was into. He made these jellyfish.
That's a really weird thing to be ominous about. Hey man, I work for the king and I'm crazy, but I really like jellyfish, so I'm just gonna clone a bunch of jellyfish. I hope you enjoy this window into I don't remember the fucking game, what do I do now?
I want to be able to figure out what insects themselves evolved from. Well, technically we all evolved from jellyfish, so then I'll create them.
I shall make my own bug country. I don't know why I'm not able to grab on that ledge, but that's the case and it's really annoying.
Wow, I didn't know this thing recorded the sound of me snoring.
Hey, buddy.
Alright, alright. Matthew Mabugahay.
No.
Alright.
I don't want to see a Matthew McConaughey grub fly. That's really weird, man.
Hey man, you know, sometimes you just get trapped in some of these glasses, you know.
And now that you've said it, someone's gonna draw it. I hope you're proud.
That's what I love about high school bugs.
So this level is quote-unquote weird in that there's two paths. You either choose if you want to go down the path of electricity or down the path of jellyfish. I personally like electricity.
Wonder what this guy was up to.
It's really weird. But yeah, we're gonna go to what I personally consider the most annoying boss fight in the game. Not because of the design, but you'll see.
Ooh. That looks like a 2006 emoticon.
Yeah, kinda. But yeah, our attacks are ineffective. We cannot fight Umu. We are worthless. Oh no. Even magic works, actually, huh? But yeah, this is another co-op fight. Quirrel's gonna help you out here. Now, the big issue with this thing, and why I find it the most annoying fight, is that Quirrel doesn't shut up. Like, every single time he appears on the screen, he says something, and it actually gets really annoying.
Burn it, burn to the ground!
I'm trying to remember what you're referencing, but I'm drawing a blank.
It's one of the Mega Mans.
Oh yeah, so it's gonna be a wild
One of the
part.
bosses says the same, yeah, it says the same line, saying like 2 lines over and over again.
Also, I will say, as a boss, this is kind of lame because it's effectively damage thresholding, but that's not as annoying as Quirrel just non-stop talking. At least Cloth was like, you know, fighting. She
That'd be great if he was the next boss after her Hollow Knight turned around and went, shut up. M growth ink and flow or thinking field. Old item essence and tream ungrowth.
Yeah, if someone could figure this out and tell me what this means, I really don't know, and that's the only thing here of that.
Well, it seemed like the jellyfish talked kind of like that in their minds.
Oh man, I should have Psychic Knife Umu. What the hell was he thinking? Shit!
He was probably thinking, yeah, because of the emoticon look.
Hey bud, how'd you do that? I'd like to learn to jump through platforms like that.
You figured this shit out, huh?
Yeah, if I remember right, she is classified as the librarian. The dreamer we found in Hive Nest was called, I want to say Mother. We know about the Watcher. This is the librarian. And this is where the big reveal is that the Watchers are actually on your side. Dreamers! Fuck!
So do you think maybe the jellyfish are supposed to be repositories of knowledge?
I was actually thinking that, and I'm glad you think that too, because that makes a lot of sense.
Because they do have all that, like, when you hit that thing, it was just spouting a bunch of words. Like, maybe it's kind of the 0 1s of knowledge to these bugs.
That would make sense. Hello, Monomon. Gotta stab you now, I'm sorry.
If you can reach me, motherfucker, ow.
Why did you psychic knife my jellyfish tentacles?
Tickle, 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 ow, tickle, ow, tickle.
Well, there goes the internet. Actually, she'd be more Wikipedia, wouldn't she?
God, that just means all the jellyfish are like Wikipedia users. Oh god.
Well, shit. We did it bad.
I always love the feeling that when you're doing something in a game to try to save the world, you're actually making it worse.
It is a theme that's coming up a lot more in video games, isn't it?
It's interesting that he knows about how this entire seal business works. But I guess it's because he worked for the librarian?
Yeah, he worked for the librarian, and in order to protect her seal, she basically split herself in two and gave half of her to Quirrel and then blanked his memory. So it would be the ultimate defense. But then I guess something happened within the part where The part Quirrel was holding spurred him to come back in order to aid Hollow Knight. I think that's all the grub flies. My children.
I'm glad you're back, man. I brought you all this money.
I got all this money from the movie Sahara. You watched that, right?
That movie was shit.
I love that movie so much, but yeah, it's garbage. It's so bad.
It is.
Grubfly's elegy is interesting. I believe I showed off this video, and I want to use it more, but I can't quite figure out what I want to remove from my kit for it. Look at how beautiful it is. Their cheers are like a beautiful melody.
Until they become a boss.
Not really, but the final bit for the grubflies will confuse you.
I ate churros once. They were quite good. I made them myself.
I ate a churro as big as my head. Oh yeah, here's the end of Cordifer.
Hey, he went back home to sleep. It'd be funny if like... Now look into his dream.
You can't, unfortunately. I bet if you did, it would just be so much Atlas data, you would go insane.
So anyway, about churros and dogs.
Let's check out Grubfly Elegy. As I struggle to figure out what else do I want on here. So if you have max health, you do this. I
would keep that shit on.
I believe the blast wave does about half damage of a sword.
But the range.
Now here's the bullshit. Because I have Grim Troop enabled, technically I have all the badges, but Grim Troop adds more badges. So I can't get the fucking 100% badge thing until I complete Grim Troop. Damn it.
Woof.
Woof. Now we're going here to Blue Lake for a very special end segment. An end to a story that we've been seeing the whole game.
Oh, so he's really old.
It's really hard to tell what the character design is in this game, but yeah, apparently he's a really old bug. That's always an interesting concept. Like I remember people saying, "Man, I wish I could redo this for the first time again. It was such a great memory." Quirrel actually got to enjoy that. And for probably the most memorable scene in this game, you could just chill with Quirrel.
But a part of him was just like, man, I wish I didn't figure this shit out.
But when you leave and come back, all that's left is a memorial.
As he walked away, he caught his foot on a tripwire and died.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Poof. Oh, he's not moving.
Now the Grubfly plot.
Oh boy. Hey, Fat Tony.
You accompany me on the day of my daughter's wedding. Whoa.
So people got really pissed at this, but I forget where it's stated. In fact, this might be bullshit entirely. But apparently the part of the evolutionary process of the grubfly is that the elder eats them in order to cocoon them so they can become butterflies.
I can hear them still.
Yeah, they sound miserable, don't they?
Yeah.
So that might be bullshit. But yeah, that's the finale of the grubflies.
You're just all right. It's really good in here, man.
I don't know why that freaks me out so much. Matthew McConaughey bug is just the worst thing ever.
Just
The image
a
of,
bug just sitting there going like, now you need to get me out of this glass so I can pop my shirt off.
you know what the worst part is? My mental image is just a grub fly. It's like, imagine taking a grub fly, but just going into Photoshop, erasing it, and then superimposing Matthew McConaughey's face and then coloring it green.
Or one of those videos that shows like the Photoshop process of like turning a cheeseburger into a celebrity. And like it turns the grub worm into Matthew McConaughey.
Ugh, that sounds awful. But yeah, I believe the next video is going to be me doing all of the side quests that people really did not like. And then we're going to beat the game. And I got to show off all 3 endings somehow.
Maybe you'll just have to play the whole game on 3 separate save files and do it that way.
I do have a save file prepared for 1 ending. And I believe with this save file, I could do the other 2. The only issue is that with the 1 save file I have for the 1 ending, it's on Steel Soul mode, so if I fuck up that boss fight, I can't get ending 1.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so that's gonna be tricky. Then after we get the ending, I'll do Grim Troop. Grim Troop should not be hard at all. It's gonna be 1 or 2 videos tops. But I think you'll enjoy it because the boss fight in that game is dope! It's really good!
Getting pumped!
Yeah! Fucking love vampires! I mean, what?
Hmm?
Good night,
Mosquito?
folks.
All right, good night, everybody.